Stay tuned to the end of this video because I'm gonna be giving you our first baby name hint. Oh man, do I have a pregnancy update for you. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle Burr. If you're new around here, if you're a subscriber of mine, I'm so glad you're back to watch yet another pregnancy update. I am now 30 weeks pregnant, so I'm gonna be updating y'all on weeks 26 through week 29, which has been the biggest handful of weeks for me. I mean, it's been a doozy. Is it good? No. Could it be worse? Yes. So anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and start. Also, I did wanna say I'm probably not going to be doing any product mentions. I just did a baby shower haul on my channel, so that's a lot of the products that I received, but I did do little things for his room, or I ordered my cute little hospital gown that I'm gonna bring. So those are the type of products that I've gotten over the weeks. I'm also gonna be making videos packing my mama bag for the hospital, packing the diaper bag for the hospital, so you'll be able to see a lot of things in future videos. I'm probably just not gonna do product mentions in this particular video because I have so much to talk about. We're covering 4 weeks, but in the matter of those 4 weeks, so much has happened too. So starting with week 26. Week 26 was a little weird. The start of week 26, I had a little episode and it hasn't happened since. So I had dinner, nothing out of the ordinary. It was foods that I've had before. I just got this incredible amount of pain. Not pain, but tummy ache feeling. It hurt. I mean, it was painful, but it was more just really unsettled tummy. I was just sick. So I kept getting up and going to the bathroom and then back to the couch and then the bathroom, back to the couch. And I did that several times. And Matt was just like, are you okay? Did you eat anything out of the normal today? And I'm like, no, I've just had my normal food. I don't know what happened, but anyways, my last time to go to the restroom, I had to grab the trash can in the bathroom and I was just yelling for Matt. I was like, Matt, come here, Matt. I don't know why I was yelling for Matt, but I was just like, Matt, but I was throwing up in the trash can at the same time, so all Matt could hear was Matt. So I'm on the toilet, I'm violently throwing up all of my dinner. So my body did not want a speck of what I had for dinner, which is all foods I've had before. It was a new meal, but it was all foods that I've had before, the same type of foods that I've had and know I can eat, but mixed together in a different type of way. So it was very confusing for me, and Matt came to the bathroom and he was like, what is happening? Because I'm talking painful projectile vomiting all of my dinner to where after that I was hungry, I never even ate. So that was really weird. It only randomly happened once in week 26. I also had a few days that were pretty quiet with the baby. He would move, but it was less frequent, and I don't know if it was his position or what was going on, but I did have a few noticeably quiet days, and it was the first time that I thought, at what point is it okay, or at what point do I call my OB-GYN for concerns with his movement? And then all of a sudden he just picked up and started moving like crazy. So it's really hard not to get into your head on those quiet days, or maybe they're kicking or moving a little bit off schedule. It's really hard not to super worry. And it's my first baby, so I'm how do I know when to call the OB-GYN? But everything was fine. I had a ton of movement after that, so I don't know if he was going through a growth spurt and sleeping a lot and then all of a sudden moving a lot, I don't know. But that's really the 2 biggest things for week 26. The throwing up episode was pretty bad because it was more violently throwing up. My body was clearly trying to get rid of my dinner. And it was a more violent throw up than I ever experienced whenever I threw up in the first trimester. So that was bad. It was bad. So then week 27, I put that his movements are getting more fluid and like bigger movements. So I was kind of transitioning from the jab type movements, and they were more like fluid, bigger, like just a more fluid movement. That's like the best way that I could describe it. And that happened at 27 weeks. I noticed that sometimes it would give me like kind of like a seasick, queasy feeling whenever he would do those big fluid movements, just for like a second. Nothing big, nothing like, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up or I'm nauseous. Just like a little split second of maybe like when a roller coaster drops, or it's really interesting. It's a very interesting feeling. And then I had my glucose test, and that was at 27 weeks, and this is when it all kind of started spiraling for me. So I had my glucose test at the end of 27 weeks. They wanted to see my blood sugar at 140 or below, I believe. And my blood sugar came back at 155. I was just really surprised that I failed the glucose test, because if you've been following me for a long time, I mean, especially before IVF, I was the healthiest I've ever been, the best shape I've ever been, but I've always been like super health conscious, and I'm gluten-free. I'm very restrictive with dairy. I just thought for sure that everything would be okay. And I guess because I've managed to stay in pretty good shape, I wouldn't say I'm in excellent shape during pregnancy, but I would say that I look average, or I just look healthy in my pregnancy. I don't look like I'm just packing on pounds, you know? I thought that everything would be okay with my glucose test, but I'm learning, which I didn't know before, that it has nothing to do with your weight. It honestly has nothing to do with your weight. It has everything to do with your blood sugar, the way your body processes sugars, your insulin levels, and everybody's gonna be different. So that was hard. Luckily, my mother-in-law was here whenever I got the call that I failed it. It was funny because my OB-GYN, I did my glucose test right before Thanksgiving. It was like 2 days before Thanksgiving, and I was like, when can I get the results? And she said, well, because of Thanksgiving, you probably won't hear from us until like through the weekend, Monday for sure. And she said, if you don't hear from us Monday, it's good news. Like, no news is good news, but if there's a problem, we'll call you. And I'm like, oh, okay, no big deal. I honestly just did not think I was gonna fail this test. Anyways, so Monday rolls around and I don't get a call. And I'm like, I passed my glucose test. Like, they didn't call me, like, woo, woo. Like, I assumed I was gonna pass anyways. So I was just like, okay, cool. Another check mark, another check box off the list. And then Tuesday rolls around and my phone rings. And it's my OB-GYN office, and I guess maybe they were a little backed up because they were closed for Thanksgiving or whatever. And she called me and was like, yeah, I just want to let you know that your glucose was elevated. We're gonna have to send you for the 3-hour glucose test now. And I just lost it. Like, I literally think that I asked my mother-in-law, how did this happen? A million times. She was shocked. My husband was shocked. My friends were shocked. My family, like, everyone was just like, what? But then on the other hand, they were like, there's so many like variables that go into this glucose test. I think it's like pretty easy to fail the 1-hour glucose test. Now you're gonna have to do the 3-hour, and that really sucks, but I think it's gonna be okay. Actually, it was so consuming for me that I called the nurse back and I said, look, I need to do the 3-hour glucose test tomorrow. Like, tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning. So she sent my stuff over to the LabCorp. I called the LabCorp and made an appointment and was like, let's get this done the very next day. So the next day I went in for my 3-hour glucose test, and I'm gonna tell you now, if you have to do the glucose test, don't be scared of it. I got the orange drink on my 1 hour glucose test, and then I got the fruit punch for my 3 hour one. Neither one of them were bad. Like, they didn't taste, they weren't like ideal, like not my choice of drink, but neither one of them were like, you know, it wasn't a big deal. Like everyone makes it to be, it just wasn't a big deal. So I drank it in 5 minutes at my 3 hour. The ladies who were doing my blood and taking care of me there were amazing. They were just like fun and happy, and they had like recliners there for us, and we had our own like TV room because you have to stay there for 3 hours. And so it actually went by a little faster than I thought it would. Everything went great, and the nurse was like, "You're really taking this like a champ. You're doing great." And I'm like, "Is that a bad thing? Like, why am I so calm, cool, and collected during this? I don't know." Like, I've heard of a lot of people like shaking or throwing up or anyways. So basically when you do the 3 hour test, they do your blood before the test. You drink the drink in 5 minutes. An hour later, they do your blood again. An hour later, they do your blood again. An hour later, they do your blood again. So you get 3 blood draws. Is it 3? Yeah, 3 blood draws after you drink the glucose test. So I got the call that I failed that one as well, which rocked me because the nurse basically was like, "Hey, so unfortunately your glucose stayed pretty elevated during your test. Your body didn't release the insulin like it should have to balance your blood sugar, and so basically you have gestational diabetes." And I was like, I cannot describe to you like how hearing that felt, like especially after everything that I've already been through with IVF. Like I was absolutely shocked. So I failed my 3 hour glucose test. It really sucks because now I have to prick my finger 4 times a day. So I have to do a fasting blood sugar first thing in the morning, and then I have to prick my finger after breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then once a week I have to report it back to my doctor. They scheduled me to have an appointment with a dietitian, which is just crazy to me. So I did my appointment with my dietitian today actually, and y'all are gonna see it in the next vlog. I guess it was a good visit. Basically, we're just monitoring what I eat as of now, because from what she was telling me about like my amount of carbs and sugars that I should be having, it sounds like I'm usually below that, if I'm being honest. I just think that my body was so in shock from the amount of carbs and sugar from the glucose drink that I failed the glucose test. Because on a normal day of me eating and a normal day of just like the regular foods that I eat, I think that once I start doing my finger pricks, we're gonna see that my normal diet will be fine for the baby and fine for me. Yeah, it was a shock. Like I said, in the next vlog, you'll be able to see my entire appointment, my entire meeting with the dietitian, kind of what we talked about as far as like baby and my birth. And so another thing that kind of like wrapped up my 28th week, so I failed my 3 hour glucose test, whatever. But another thing that wrapped up my 28th week is my left breast. I woke up in the middle of the night and was like, what is wet? I started to leak in my left breast a little bit. Everything that I've seen, I didn't call my OB-GYN or anything, because everything that I've seen is like, it's total, I'm 30 weeks, so it's totally normal at this point for my body to start preparing for having a baby. So yeah, I'm leaking a little bit of colostrum in my left breast at 28 weeks, and then at 29 weeks, excuse you, what's wrong? My dog is just whining like she's the one with gestational diabetes. When you have diabetes, you can whine. Until then, what's wrong? Anyway, so my left breast was leaking like kind of on and off. It wasn't a lot. I would say it was just like this amount on my shirt. It wasn't that big of a deal. Going on to 29 weeks, on a positive, bright side, more optimistic note, we had our baby shower, which was absolutely perfect. We had a drive-by shower from 1 to 3, but then we had immediate family inside, and we all had good food together, just our immediate family, and then we opened presents together with our immediate family. That way, I didn't feel like it was a bunch of people in a room together when we shouldn't be, and just playing it really safe for my relatives. I really wanted to keep all of my immediate family safe, but like my mother-in-law had just gone through chemo. Obviously, I wanted Momo to be here. She's the most important person in my life, and she is older and a little bit more at risk when it comes to getting sick. So that was my priority. So we decided to do kind of like a hybrid, like immediate family inside to have a shower, just eat together, open presents. Then the drive-by from 1 to 3 was for extended relatives and friends, and it honestly worked out amazing. If you want to see more details on the logistics of the shower, I posted everything on my Instagram, and I saved it to a highlight so y'all can see. Then at the end of 29 weeks, my right breast started to leak, and it had only been my left side, and so I kept thinking like, okay, this is gonna be my power breast whenever it comes time to feed the baby. And then my right one started leaking, and it was more, like it was leaking more than the left one. So I guess it's just colostrum. Like, I've never had a baby before, so I don't know, but everything that I've read, heard from other people, it's like it's totally normal, your body's getting ready to have a baby. It was funny because I was just having my coffee and the baby started to like move around, and like he was like really moving, like I could just feel like it's starting to get to where I'm like, oh my God, is that a knee? And so he was moving and being all cute in my belly, and it made me feel like warm fuzzy feelings. You know, I was thinking about him and what he must look like now, and he's, you know, probably looks like a baby. Like I just was like, every time he moves, I'm just like, the warm fuzzies are real, you know, like the love is just so overwhelming. Anyways, so I'm just like casually having my coffee, baby's moving. I'm like, this is the best ever. And I look down and it's like bloop, 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 like just spots on my shirt. And so I'm like, oh my God. So I like look, and it's like a drip. So if you've ever experienced that, please let me know that I'm not the only one. I'm pretty positive that it's normal. I don't know, it's pretty surreal too, to like for it to happen and be like, whoa, I am actually like gonna be a mom. This is crazy. Like, it's just crazy. Like the bodily changes are so crazy, but it's really quite awesome. Like I will say that I'm shaping up to be one of those people that just absolutely love it. But anyways, huge updates. Leaking breast and diabetes, and it's just honestly crazy. Another thing that I didn't put in my phone, but I just remembered, I'm no longer going to cycle class. So I had been going to cycle class just to remain like mentally, physically healthy throughout the pregnancy. My cycle studio, it's not like a gym setting, it's like literally just one room with the bike. So they're so good about like sanitizing before and after every single ride. It's like a small crowd, and they have every other bike booked for right now. And then you have to wear masks whenever you're not on the bike. Like it's just a very, I feel safe at cycle. I got an ugly comment about me still working out during the pandemic, and I was just like, who hurt you? It was not a nice comment, but I don't take things like that to heart. I am a lover regardless if you're a hater or not, because I know that I'm doing what's best for me and my baby. So it's important for me to remain healthy, like mentally and physically. So I had been going to cycle, being extra very careful as far as that goes. It was like my only outing of the day, honestly. But I have stopped going to cycle because it is just with the belly, and like I couldn't reach forward for the handlebars anymore. Like there is a full on, you're about to see my bump in a second, there's a full on belly in front of me, and I would just get so tired so easy. I would be like done for the rest of the day after cycle. So now I'm going on a walk every single day, and I'm just doing like arms at home, just taking it easy, just walks, light weights, and I think that that'll be enough to keep me in a good headspace and keep me physically healthy for the remainder of my pregnancy. So that's it for the pregnancy updates. Let's go ahead and look at this bump. Okay, so here's the bump, 30 weeks. I feel like I really popped, y'all. It's the front. Yeah, we poppin'. Also guys, really quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the first official Bitty Burr baby name hint. The first hint is that the baby's name is a 1-syllable name. Stay tuned for the next video where I will be giving you baby name hint number 2. Okay guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Show me some love in the comments. Lord knows I need it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Thank you for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better.